Okay. Well, how about if I just talk to you in the mirror? That way I don't have to, I don't have to face myself. Honestly, when I said that I want one of those AI generated younger versions of myself, and then I was going to put that in place. Okay, well, I can talk in this mirror, I guess. Huh. Jeez. You know, I wonder, years go by, I don't kind of let myself go because, well, I mean, who sees me but the cats and Jim, and Jim is very tolerant. He also takes a lot of gummies, so, I mean, honestly, he may not know who I really am. Oh, I'm kidding. No, I mean, Jim's and he actually is extremely intelligent. At one time or another, you could come up with a kind of even semi-abstract equation, mathematical equation, and he could come up with the answers just in his head. He could visualize. I'm looking at this bathroom because you know what? I never see a clean bathroom. Yeah, my friend David was concerned about me. Oh, somebody left the seat up. I think it was actually the person that cleaned the room. Must have been a guy. Hey, we're living in such times. There are no female and male jobs. I don't know what I think about that. Okay, people, be honest with me. Say, for instance, that you had a medical emergency, and you're all for equality and all that, but there's a big, strong dude with just as much experience as the little, thin, weaker woman. Both, same IQ, they're both pretty much equal. I'm sorry. I still kind of want the strong person, that slight advantage. And is it so bad that there are certain jobs that are typically thought of as male jobs? Is there something wrong with that? I kind of think that there isn't exactly. And I don't think that they should ever lower the bar. You know, to give a woman an advantage to be able to get into the military or be on the police department or fire department. Don't lower the bar. If they can go up to the bar, the same bar that a man can, then allow them to. And I think a time will come, and this sounds a bit science fiction, but time will come where if you have bionic arms and legs, hey, I am saying that I could see that happening. If a female could have the same physical strength as a male, oh my God, then for real, I honestly think at that point, ladies, we for real would have an advantage. But as it stands right now, I did not watch the Super Bowl, but I understand. I'm just being critical. I'm just walking around. I really don't love myself. In fact, it's kind of quite the opposite. I'm thinking, oh, mercy. Maybe you set out just one or two too many of those times where you should have been exercising. Well, it's kind of like this. You know, you don't want to age, but you want to continue to live. And maybe Elon Musk or somebody will come up with some kind of magical Alexa to keep us young. How about this? Our minds and our bodies stay young. Our minds are like they are when you're maybe 5 or 6 years old, where they're completely receptive. So you're taking in all kinds of new ideas and you're learning at a rapid pace. I don't know. I see. Just now got my Freedom Basics. That's freedom-basics.com and freedom-basics.store. My websites where I'm selling products for people who decided to live off the grid. My thought was, as far as living off the grid goes, I don't know. I'm not really a person who'd want that every day. Shit, do I look like sugar honey iced tea? Do I look like the kind of person that would like that every day? No, but it's a good thing to know. And I don't know if I deleted the video that expressed the reason why I thought, and I'm up at night and I'm trying to, maybe broaden my horizons every day, because I've heard that the one way that you can stay a little more in touch and youthful is just keep your brain activated. We all kind of think, not all of us, that another country could invade us, and hey, we pretty much had that with the open borders. But you ever thought if all the computers went down, and I don't know if I kept the video up where I expressed that, all of our banking, shopping, everything online, if another country could figure a way just to shut that down, man, we'd be so in surrender mode, because what choice would we have? We'd probably end up surrendering. And kind of how people worry that Donald Trump, in his abrupt nature, but I think he's actually going to kind of keep them in line. I kind of think almost in a way Biden was welcoming the intrusion, and I don't know, and I don't think it was Biden. Hey, he's big time racist. At least he was. My father passed away in 2013, so there's no way that I can verify the story with you. But when I was a kid, they were very worried about the busing situation. And Joe Biden somehow had made the news clips because my father knew who he was. And you guys may or may not, if some of you are like 60, 70 years old, maybe you can verify my story. I wish somebody would, because sincerely, I have gotten arguments with people. Joe Biden called black kids savages. Because my dad, we weren't in wherever he was, whatever his position was, mayor? I don't know. It was, I think, New York or something like that. But he was saying, you do not want your female students attacked by these savages. So all this woke stuff that he's saying now, well, I mean, people change. They get enlightened. I have a hard time believing that he's one of those old dogs you could teach a new trick. Frankly, just getting him to go in the right bathroom and not attack a child. I don't mean that. Sometimes I look at Joe Biden and think he's sort of an innocent, grandfatherly little type. Then there's other times that I feel strong evil from him. I guess that's that thing where people have said, I'm not totally Christian. I kind of go a little into the mystic. There are people I feel strong negative about. And sometimes that's completely on target. I felt it about Fauci. I swear to you, I felt that about Fauci the minute that I saw him. Of course, it was my anxiety kicking in, and he's been around since the 80s with AIDS, and he never was able to cure AIDS, which makes me wonder what the F we were doing putting him in charge of anything. But Joe Biden, Tim Walz, instant evil, bad feeling, and our lovely Anthony, Dr. Fauci. You have to ask yourself, was that leak deliberate or was it intentional? I pray to God it wasn't intentional. I mean, a lot of people mess things up, as you know, but that changed us, and not for the better. We're fearful. We don't trust each other. And for a while there, we'd be yelling at people that got too close. My son and I used to go shopping together. And I didn't know, those little jokes that you have within your family? Like, we used to make a joke when we had to sneeze. We'd go, huh. And you imagine doing that in about 2020? And Colton was like, Mom, are you trying to clear the store out because you don't want to wait in line or what? I didn't really cooperate with that very well. And there's a funny story with my husband going to the bank. Some things never change. He was trying to keep me from being overdraft, but he didn't have a mask. So he pulled his shirt up over his face and he ran and he said, give her what she wants, because he didn't have a mask. And the people freaked. We're always getting in something like that. It kind of follows us around. Now, with my husband, my daughter. Yeah, you might think we would be pro keeping track of the police and don't let them get any brutality, because they've been called on us, and And we're a pretty pasty white, but we're always doing something that's kind of crazy, and it's unintentional. But, I wasn't for the police being defunded, but honestly, could they get a little milder, a little less hateful? I don't know what it is like to be followed around because you're the wrong color. They kind of followed me around because maybe one of my kids did something, and I've always not known how to fit into society. I think of myself as kind of a hippie type. I'm kind of anti-medicines and more therapeutic or holistic. But I've worn leather jackets and stuff, and when I didn't look like the Grim Reaper, I've had the police treat me badly just because they thought maybe I might be a tad bit younger or something. Not these days. I haven't had anybody say, hey, can you help that old lady across the street? But that's going to be there. But you know what? You can't do anything about that, I guess. But I would. See, here's my theory too. You can't be too mad about people over 18 that want to alter their body to be the gender that they feel like they are. Because if all of a sudden I was a millionaire, and if all you're going about is the desire to alter your body, I would alter mine, man. I would. I'd botch C-section, all this stuff, yeah. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound superficial and shallow when I'm talking about that, but this is one of the first days that I have had to face what I actually look like in the mirror. Ugh, in a full-length mirror. Honest to God, I'm in sweats just around the house most of the time, talking to my cats, and my husband when he can hear me, on a good day when he can hear me. But anyway, I think I've got enough footage, and I'm going to give that to my friend and have him watch it together, try to come up with something. I don't want to shout out to anybody I've offended. We already know that I may have offended Karen the other day. But I kind of think in some weird level she gets me. She counsels people. So she probably just looks at me as another nut, but I'm just kind of concerned. She wonders what kind of nut. I seriously was just trying to help her out. I kind of thought maybe we could do some silly role-playing thing and, get her monetized and people could see the sweet side of her with all the cute ideas and the good-hearted spirit. And also I wanted to say candidly, Karen, if you're seeing this, you're too good for the D party. They probably need you to lift them up. Somebody so sincere and sweet that really does care. But, I don't know. But then I also said, and I mean this sincerely, I don't think we as people who are not rich and affluent in the decision makers, they play the music and we're dancing. Meaning we shouldn't get so tied up in this that we're ready to fight each other and wish harm upon each other because they're on the wrong team. Because kind of if you strip away all of the theatrics and the sensationalism, we all kind of want a lot more peace and love and fun and forgiveness and just everybody having a roof over their head and some comfort, some creature comforts. Enough to eat, the lights on, some fun, some recreation, some appreciation of whatever we've contributed, even if we didn't make it to the 6-figure, 7-figure, or we haven't invented in something so influential. It kind of seems like the people that are pulling the shots there are the ones that just have a whole lot of money. I don't know. My son once said that he thought if some regular person ever volunteered to be president, they'd win by a landslide. That means like your neighbor in the house that's maybe 150K. So I'm just like a regular person paying the bills, driving a car that's a few years old, complaining about the gas and the egg prices. And what is with that? I didn't even find out the reasoning behind that. What is with that? Do you even like eggs? Honestly, people out there that manage to listen this far, do you like eggs that much? I kind of don't care what they cost. for as infrequently as we ever cook with eggs or do anything with eggs, hey, I'm stealing David's Red Bull. When he left me here, he made the mistake of leaving it behind. And I have also a problem with talking too slow, but today that's not it. It was the other day when I almost got a strike before I even got started for talking about what goes on at the boom booms in the schools that didn't go on from my generation that goes on now. It's pretty bad when you get a warning and you haven't even hardly started. But anyway, I think the train left the station. I'm not sure where I was going with that. But anyway, if you are still here, don't you think that we're all human beings, kind of, unless we're crazy and sociopaths or whatever? I think we're all kind of on the same page about what we want. There's no peace on earth, thing like that. But another one of the videos that I might not have deleted, I was having these flashbacks where I went back to what I thought was important when I was a kid. In fact, it was the moon landing that I'm now questioning if it was real. We talked about back then, as I got on the moon landing and where I was that day, it was in the Girl Scouts or something. And we all totally believed it. There was not one person among us that thought this could be fake. Why would the government lie to us? We were so young and innocent. That would be never would somebody orchestrate something that ridiculous. And now we believe virtually nothing. It's a long time ago, but kind of sad. But anyway, I'll go back to what my son and I were talking about. Because he said if ever somebody like one of our neighbors, our parents or something, ran, a middle-class person with all of our problems, that somebody just allowed to take the podium. And I know there's some crazies all over the place that kind of take the podium and say, I'm running for president, and they don't really mean it, but I mean a well-balanced person who has whatever education you need to be up there and has their political science degree. I'm stealing this Red Bull, like I already said. He's probably going to come back in and say, what happened here? And I thought you were doing better with your energy. I thought you got enough sleep last night. But anyway, somebody that was totally relatable to us. And even though I love Donald Trump and the fact that he got arrested and some of that, but it is so not the same. It is so not the same. And I think that maybe Karen was kind of touching on it. If none of these people we can really relate to. We can only find bits and pieces of the ones we relate to the most. There's a little Bill Clinton out there and a little bit of Obama. Obama wanting to talk to the brothers, and the first time he finally, when he gets so rich and affluent and so recognized, he moves into a freaking white neighborhood. But I don't hear too many black people ever criticize him for that. And the same with Oprah. I think we all basically, if we're not too eaten up with greed and stuff, all want happiness and peace. And we really want to love our neighbors, but we're so afraid we're not going to get our own peace and serenity and security every day. We're afraid that they're going to take away our Social Security, take away retirement, take away disability. We are so afraid we're not going to be able to take care of ourselves, and in many cases our family and whoever depends on us, that we seem belligerent and aggressive. All the scammers from these other countries that are allowed to harass us day after day, I know, that's micromanaging, and that isn't something that anybody should have to deal with, but we're hit with so much information these days, and then half of it has to be unreal, and it's always keeping us fear-mongering and hating each other. But I think at heart, many of us want the same thing. So ultimately, we may differ a little bit, but it would behoove us all to figure out a way to be on the same team, unless you're just like bad sugar honey iced tea and you need to be locked up. And those people, I have no trouble. I think many people just need to be put away. But get them out of the regular mainstream community and find a group of people who can find common ground on both sides of the coin. And the small differences should not matter. We should all be able to kind of coexist, because I don't think your skin color, erase your gender, and if you're a dude that's wearing ladies' stockings or whatever, I don't think that's all small stuff. I think they get us all wrapped around the axle talking about the small stuff so that we don't keen in on the things that really matter. Did I say that I probably should get off here? I hope the weather does not get bad. I don't do well in the snow and the ice and all that. But if ever there is a person out there that I could maybe film with, I am in Independence, Missouri, or we could splice them together and get rid of some of this. I'm very self-conscious, and I think that I would prefer to work behind the scenes and maybe elevate somebody else's channel to greatness. If you look at my Off the Grid website, that's kind of, I'm selling products for people who kind of want to learn what it is like. If they ever shut off the computers on us and we had to make it out there in the world. And there's also a lot of health and fitness in there, because one of the freelancers from Bangladesh that was working on my website said, no, it ties in the fitness. You can't go out, and I still don't think he knew what I was talking about when I said I want off the grid and shipping container homes and camping and fishing. I was throwing everything I could out there to make him understand living off the grid, but that colloquial English does not translate well, so I don't think he quite understood. But after he sent me doll houses for tiny houses, I said, no, I'm not going to sell toys. But he was saying if people want your lifestyle, to go out there and learn to live free from the luxuries of the life they know, they probably also need to be in good health, which is another topic that I'm interested in. I don't go to the doctor unless I am so sick I can barely move, which may be kind of a problem. I don't trust him a whole lot, even before this COVID thing. And before my father passed away, he was reading some book on Christian Science. And I think there's some wonderful doctors, and I don't think we should try to live without them. But I don't think we should treat them like the gods that they think they are either. They make mistakes, and many times they're just keeping the quota, the agenda. One doctor told me that he knew that COVID was exaggerated. I meet many people online. I'm up for talking to anybody, about whatever, all walks of life. But he said that he was convinced that it was exaggerated because a few years ago when it happened, he said he sent one of them out that his friend was supposed to come in and use it to see if this person had COVID. But the person never made it in, so he bagged it. And it got sent in accidentally, and it came back as positive somehow from the air. And this is one of the few doctors, because I know him personally, and he knew how I felt about it. He admitted, yeah, it was exaggerated for money. Money is going to be our downfall. It already is. It is what moves the entire engine and possesses us to do everything that we do, pretty much. And we have to get away from that. So hopefully my newfound friend Karen that does our videos, even though I tried to tell her, let's have an argument, Democrat-Republican argument. It's kind of because I get from what she's saying that she sort of feels the same way I do, that people are doing things for insincere reasons. I let her win. I told her, I'd let you win and take all the money on top of it. I told her, I said, I know what the Republicans think of everything that you're saying. And honestly, I do. And to be honest, I think the Republican team is the correct one for right now. For today. But maybe not always. Maybe not always. And then again, I have heard people say this is the end of the Democrat Party. They have said that before. But if you look at it, we're so led around by what they tell us to be. It was just a few years ago, we were like, hate on Trump. I never hated on Trump. If you listen to the beginning of this video, I liked him even back when he was judging beauty contests. Hey, Donald was pretty darn sexy back in the day. He never had the greatest personality, though. But he's got a great mind, and who really cares? Kind of like I never cared who Bill Clinton was trying to get in his slightly peeve. I don't think I can say the perverted word. All right, I did. But I still liked him. I thought he had the most vibrant, charismatic personality. But he was a dog. He is a dog. Donald Trump, probably because of his privilege with all that money, you know he's done some stuff, but he is far from more evil than anything this country's ever seen. Obama was very charismatic, and he danced on Ellen, and he knew how to smooth. But I truly don't think he likes women. I really believe that. I would, if I was in Michelle Obama's situation and she was sincerely a female, though, I would have her gynecologist speak out for her. That rumor could hurt her if she was running. Not because if she is a biological man, because she lied about it. I honestly believe that. You guys weren't around when Nixon was around. I was just a little kid, too. I was barely there on this planet. But people are very forgiving. When people admit their lies, like maybe Kamala isn't exactly the race that she said she was. People are very forgiving if you admit what you did. If you don't do a fancy dance around it, which is what all our politicians do. I don't honestly think Trump does. Am I blindsided because I like him so much? I'm sure he could do it, though. But I think most of the other politicians do these dances around reality and what they really have, and when getting caught in the lies. And because we're so attention deficit, we forget the lie they told yesterday because they're on to bigger and better ones the next day. We forgot about that lie because there's this person over there telling a lie, and this person over there telling a lie. Shouldn't we demand better? I kind of agree with my son. If ever a person that was truly middle class, I mean, making a house payment, not living in 10 different mansions in various parts, and if ever a person like that were to run, they'd probably clean up. When do we ever have a down-to-earth person? Maybe back with Abraham Lincoln or something. But anyway, I better get out of here because my friend, Paul, he's got a wife and family, and he's going to want to pick me up, and he's going to say, "Woman, shut up." And I will. But if there's anybody out there that might want to have a channel with me, I just throw things out here blankly because I'm learning to face in reality myself and get used to talking. But obviously you can pick any topic. I'd let you pick the topic, and I don't care about your race, religion. I don't care if you're gay or straight, and I don't really care about your age, except for with me, you got to be patient. I'm an old lady. I may not catch on as quick as you do, but I'm open to all of that. Anyway, you have a blessed evening, and I better go. Bye-bye.